to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. Today, I am very excited to welcome back Olivia to the show. Olivia is the host of the Soarin Around WDW Podcast. So, if you aren't already following her show, please make sure you do that today. It's a mix of Disney history, trip reports, fantasizing about what the future of Disney might be, and so much more. I'll have the link in the show notes for you so that you can easily find it. And with that, let's get right to it. Please welcome back Olivia to the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast, Olivia.
Thanks for having me, Virginia. Excited to be back.
Excited to have you back. And I think that I am experiencing what I think a lot of people experience when they sit down and talk with me for the first time, which is you hear this person's voice in your ears all of the time, and then you're actually sitting there and talking to them. And that's how I feel about you, because I've been listening to several of your episodes recently. I was cleaning out a closet at my father-in-law's house, and I was like, I need to listen to something. And I popped in some Soarin Around WDW podcast,
Oh,
and
I'm
it
honored.
got me through my chore. So
Well, good. I know I do the same thing. Like whenever I'm sweeping the floor or mopping, I just pop my earbuds in and go to
uh-huh.
Disney with you. So it's so fun.
Yeah, it's, you know what? Podcasts have been that for me for a long time. And it's just something that helps me get things done. And I get bored, or it's just like, oh, this is tedious. But if I have something going on in my ears that I'm actually interested in, it just makes whatever I'm doing a lot more doable. So thank
Yes,
you for
agreed.
that.
Of course. Thank you for listening. I love that.
How are you doing on the podcast? I know the episodes I was listening to, your dad was on, and you all were talking about sort of the history of some of the different attractions. I think the most recent one I listened to was about Haunted Mansion.
Yes. Yep.
So
We've been having fun with it. My dad has been coming on a lot with me. He's basically like a co-host now who
mhm.
pops on a lot, and just hearing his different stories about things, memories he has from when he was growing up and riding these attractions and
Yeah.
then taking us. It's just so fun, and it's a different dynamic than a lot of other podcasts that I listen to. Most people
hmm
don't have their dad on with them. So it's been really fun to do that and diving deep. There's more Haunted Mansion content coming. That's his favorite attraction. So it was funny. I
hmm
was like, oh, this will be a 2-part episode. And I think we ended at 4. So we
Oh
probably could
wow.
have done a lot more. But yeah, there's a lot to learn. We had fun with it. So it was a good time.
Yeah, and I think that it's fun listening to you all in particular talk about like your personal memories. Like you go into the history and
Yeah.
everything, but so many things come up as you two are talking where he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I just remembered this thing," and
Yes.
it's a lot of fun as a listener to hear that. So
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
really love it.
Yes. We've had a really fun time with it.
Good, 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 good. All right, you have a trip coming up.
Yes, I do.
Super jealous as I sit here in the middle of literally a blizzard here in New York City. Jealous that you're going to, well, I should say, I'm jealous that you get to go for as long as you do. I actually, if everything goes according to plan, will make it down there before you do, actually, because breaking
Oh,
news, Alex and I got a down and back flight for next Saturday to go down just
yay.
for the day.
Oh, so exciting. I know
So
you've been wanting to. I know you have
I
your big
know.
summer trip planned, so that's
Yes,
exciting.
crossing my fingers that everything goes well with the blizzard and everything to allow us to fly out on Saturday. But it's just one day. It's going to be super short, and you get to go March 4th through the 8th. So,
Yes.
who is going to be going with you on this trip?
We have quite a hodgepodge of people, so it's a fun one. We are going down, just my husband, myself, and the girls. I have a 6-year-old girl who will be turning 7 the week after we go on this trip. It's kind of her
Mhm.
birthday trip. And then I have a 3-year-old daughter who is turning 4 in July. And while we are there, a lot of our family, most of our family, lives in Florida. And
Mhm.
so we're kind of doing a day with each piece of the family, so to speak. So we're actually going on the Friday, which we'll kind of get into the days, but with my dad and his wife, my stepmom, Doreen, which is so fun, to Hollywood Studios Saturday, we'll be doing Epcot with my mom and my sister-in-law and their little baby, which was a surprise add-on because my brother, who used to do the podcast with me, travels for work, and they happen to be back in Lakeland literally today as we're recording this. He's driving back from Alabama to Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to be busy with work, but I'll get to see her and their baby, who is 6 months old, which is so fun. My first time to the parks with her. And then on the Sunday, when we do Animal Kingdom, we will be with Madi's side of the family. So my mother-in-law, stepdad-in-law, sister-in-law, her husband, and daughter. So a whole wide array of people and family members. But I'm really looking forward to it. And we love spending time
Wow.
at the parks with family. Yeah.
That is truly a hodgepodge. Like,
It
you're
is.
not joking.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done in the past where, like, everybody goes on one day, and it's just been too much, like, too many dynamics and people, and so we were like,
Hmm.
"Let's just do a day with each." I think that sounds better, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, a lot easier to navigate with smaller groups, I imagine.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that Aili will be turning 7 because that was one of the questions I wrote down before we sat down to talk was,
Yes.
is she 7 yet? So that
Almost?
answers that.
Yeah.
So how did this trip come to be? Was it really for her birthday, or where did you first start talking about doing this?
Yeah, great question. So her school happens to have this like pre-spring break trip every year. That's right before her birthday. She's
Hmm.
in first grade. So it was last year, it's this year, and next year's calendar's already out. It's next year as well. And it's a great time to go because it's not quite spring break yet for Florida or for everywhere else. And it's
Hmm.
after President's Day, Mardi Gras crowds. So
Right.
we've gone this weekend a number of times, even back before she was in school, either this weekend or the first weekend in February. And so we knew we were going to go. We kind of left it up to her if she wanted to do a birthday party or if she wanted to pick a day where she got to kind of have almost like a yes day that
Hmm.
she would get to go and pick which park we go to. Last year for her birthday, we went and it was just her and I by ourselves going to the parks and for her birthday, and it was a surprise, but this year, my youngest is old enough to know where we're going and we wouldn't be able to get away with that really. So we kind of turned it into like, what do you want to do? We're going to go either way. But what is your choice between a party and a yes day? And she's like, oh, a yes day, easy choice for her.
Hmm.
So she chose the Animal Kingdom day because she's actually only ever been to Animal Kingdom once and it was COVID time. So she doesn't really
Oh,
remember it.
wow.
She was almost 2. We were masking. And we just haven't gone back because I mean, this is probably the worst time to go back because even more is closed, but so much has been closed and it's not our favorite park. I love it, but I've gotten to go myself with Regan, my brother. And so I've gotten my fix of Animal Kingdom, but she's really interested in it and she's tall enough to ride Mount Everest and Flight of Passage, which was a big reason to wait a little
Mm.
bit to go. So, yeah, that's kind of how it came to be was she has this short school break and so we knew this would be a good time to go with the crowds and prices. And then it just turned into what she wanted to do for her birthday as well.
Wow. So I I I feel like, I don't know, it's different with an only child. I can't recall a time I've ever done like a formal yes day.
Yeah.
But as an only child, there are a lot of what feels like yes days to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the parameters that you put around that?
So really, she has never done anything like this before. So we really just said she could pick the park. She
Hmm.
could pick which rides are her priority. So like what she really wants to go on. And then we're also going to let her pick something special. She always gets a pin each park day that we have, or each day, I should say, of the vacation that we have. She gets to pick a pin that she wants or that like represents that day. And
Hmm.
so she'll get to do that and then pick something kind of like special out of the store and a special snack. So we kind of did a pin, a souvenir, a snack, and
Hmm.
then her attractions that she really wants to do, which her
Hmm.
main attractions are Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest, and the Safari. Those are like the 3 things that she is really excited about.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and again, she doesn't remember like anything. So she's kind
Hmm.
of going in. We've shown her the different attractions or like what they're called, some pictures, some point of view videos to kind of let her see. But yeah, it's kind of an easy park to do that because there's not a ton to do. So it
Mm-hmm.
makes it easy to just kind of let her lead the ship. And the other people going with us, her sister, again, has never been there, no idea what she's getting into. So I think she'll just be happy to be along for the ride. And my
Mm-hmm.
niece on my husband's side is only 2. So she's also like along for the ride. So it works out really well
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Are Aili and Blake into animals?
Yes, they are very into animals. We frequent the North Carolina Zoo a couple times a year and the aquarium and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
they just actually there's a drive-through safari near us, which I've never done. But
What?
yes, while Maddie and I were out of town at Disneyland a couple weeks ago for a parents only getaway for his work conference, which I think I spilled the beans about that on your last podcast that I was on
Mm-hmm.
with you, that we'd be going to that. They went to this drive-through safari, which they said was really cool. They said they got to do some part where they walked through and like fed the giraffes and different things. I guess this
Wow.
is like somewhere in Pittsburgh. I know I need to like look into it more.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, North Carolina, but then you drive through and you get to kind of see almost like your own Disney safari, obviously not as cool and well done, but you get to drive through and see on different sides and different areas these
Mm-hmm.
different animals. So yeah, they had a great time. So that definitely hyped them up because they knew then we were going to Animal Kingdom and they're like, this is kind of like the safari. I'm like, oh, you just wait. This I'm sure this was kind of like the safari, but you're going to be blown away. So they love
Wow.
animals. And my mother-in-law is a huge animal lover. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's ever been to Animal Kingdom. So this will be a really good
Okay.
first trip for her too.
What are the girls' favorite animals? Do you know?
Eileen's changes on the day. She went from a cheetah for a long time to all of a sudden today she wrote an entire book about a flamingo and she was researching using
Oh.
Alexa, asking like, where do flamingos live and what color are
Mm-hmm.
flamingos? What do they eat? And I was like, ooh, well, there are flamingos on the safari, so this will work
Uh-huh.
out really well. And Blake, hers also changes, but lately it's been giraffe, which is one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorites too. I think feeding the giraffes at the North Carolina Zoo and at this Aloha Safari is like hooked her. She just loves
Yeah.
them. So those are their favorites.
Very cool. All right, let's get into some of the details. First of all, where have you decided to stay for this trip?
Yes, we are staying at Art of Animation, but this was a little bit hard for us to decide because last year we stayed at Pop and loved it. It's my favorite
Mm-hmm.
of this category of resort. But the girls are at an age where we were deciding between Pop, Caribbean Beach, and the Art of Animation. And the reason we went with it, we didn't let the girls have any insight. They actually don't know where we're staying. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason that we decided to go for this is they're both really into The Little Mermaid, like love, love, love Ariel right now, which is great timing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of at the age where Aili is, where I don't know that she's going to be so into the characters and all of that for very much longer. So
Mm-hmm.
we just felt like if we're going to stay here, this is the time where they're like really going to appreciate it. And as they get older, they'll appreciate other things about other resorts. But similar to All Star Movies, I just feel like the larger than life characters at Art of Animation for little
Mm-hmm.
kids their age is just like they're in awe and they just like can't believe it. And she and I did walk around the resort last year when we stayed at Pop. We walked over there and just
Mm-hmm.
explored a little bit and she was really into it. So I was like, okay, let's try something a little bit different. We know we love Pop, but let's just at least stay here once to first of all say we did it, but also
Mm-hmm.
let them capitalize on this love of Ariel, which is where we're staying in a Little Mermaid room.
What time are you flying down from, I presume, Raleigh Durham International?
Yes. Yeah, we are flying from Raleigh-Durham to Orlando. Our flight is at about 6:30, so it's a little bit of a later flight, which is okay because they actually have school that day. So she has school and so does Maddie. He has class at UNC until about 4 o'clock. So I'm off that day. I'm gonna drop everybody off and then pick everybody up in reverse order and head to the airport after we pick up Maddie from his class right at 4, which we'll get there about 4:30, give us about 2 hours, which is pretty good
Mm-hmm.
for RDU. It's a pretty seamless airport most of the time.
Okay, so that must put you down in Orlando around 8:30.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay. What airline are you flying by chance?
We are actually flying Delta because we had a flight credit from when we went to California last summer, last time we were on the podcast for a trip report with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had paid for our flights and then they've dropped. And I called Delta and I was like, hey, flights dropped anyway. We can rebook for the cheaper price. And they're like, yep, here's a voucher. So we had like $180 a person voucher, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to just use that on this Delta flight. We had to book it within so much a time of whenever we
Mm-hmm.
had the credit or whatever. So, yep, we are going to fly down direct on Delta.
I have to admit, I have never considered asking an airline to do that. That's
Sometimes they
amazing.
say yes, and sometimes they are like, no, joke's on you. But Delta now, the way that they've changed since last summer is they have different sections of economy even more than they used to, and they're more
Mm-hmm.
particular. So I don't know that it would work anymore, but it's worth a try. I encourage people just try and see, but
Mm-hmm.
especially if you purchase the refundable rate, you
Mm-hmm.
really could cancel and rebook. And so that's kind of what I said to them on the phone. It's like, I mean, I could just cancel and rebook. There's obviously seats and get the cheaper price. And they were
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah, we'll just give you the credit. But we've done that once or twice. And
Mm-hmm.
a few times that we've asked, they've said no, but we've gotten credit a couple of times. So it's worth asking, especially on Delta in particular.
Right, and worth paying attention to because I don't
Yes.
I tend not to pay attention either. After I've purchased my flight, I'm like, "Okay, I'm good," and then I don't think about it again, but that's something that I should probably start doing, and
Yes,
save a
worth
little bit of
trying.
money.
Exactly. Exactly. And we know we're going to be flying again. So it's like, might as well try to get that credit for
Mhm.
sure.
Now, all of the people who are joining up with you, are they all local?
They are all local. Yes. So they all live in Sarasota, Bradenton, which is like an hour and a half away from Orlando.
Okay.
And they are all staying the night before or after. So, like, my dad is driving up morning of and then staying the night after. I don't know where he's staying yet, probably off property. And then
Mhm.
my mom, same thing, is staying the night after her night. And
Mhm.
Maddie's family staying the night before since it's the Sunday. And then they'll
Mhm.
drive home after we're done at Animal Kingdom. But yeah, so
Okay.
everyone's kinda doing their own thing. Nobody else is staying at Art of Animation.
Okay. Have you done anything special for this trip in terms of, like, renting a stroller or anything like that?
We are bringing our own stroller from home. I got a
Okay.
very cheap double bob before our Disneyland trip last summer off of Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks, and it's not in the
Mhm.
best shape, but it works. So we are not going to rent a stroller. We are doing Katie, our travel agent, who is at 2+3 Travelers on Instagram. She's
Yes.
awesome.
Friend of the
Um,
podcast. We love
Friend of the
Katie.
podcast. Yes, she's my neighbor. Love her. She booked us a black lane car to get from the airport to the hotel because we've done Uber before. We've rented a car before. We don't really feel like renting a car is necessary this trip. A lot of times when we do these Orlando trips, we'll build in a day to drive to our hometown and see grandparents or see whoever. But we were just there for a long time for Thanksgiving and saw everybody. So we were like, we don't really need to do that.
Mhm.
And the thing with Uber is you can get an Uber with car seats and things like that, but we've had mixed experiences with that. So we decided we don't want to drag our car seats through the airport. We don't want to have to deal with that. We're just going to pay a little bit of extra money, which it wasn't terribly much. I think it was like $130 each way, which is
Mhm.
expensive, but to us, it was worth the cost to just have someone there ready to help you with all the
Mhm.
stuff and get to the car. So we're going to try that for the first time.
Okay, and you said it's called Black Lane?
Black Lane. Yep. And it's kind
Okay.
of like a national thing. Like you can do it anywhere. It's not like an MCO to Disney type of thing or those
Right.
companies that are mostly for Disney or Disney Cruise Line. This is like a almost like an Uber Black type of a situation.
Sure, and you know because you're booking it that they're gonna have plenty of room for all of your luggage and for the Bob
Yes.
stroller, which is not small.
Big. Yeah. Yes.
So
Yep,
that'll be
Katie
good.
took care of all that. Yep, so she let them know which stroller we had, how many bags we would have, how many people,
Mhm.
how many car seats, and the car seats were included, so that
Perfect.
was great.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see how it works.
Alright, so Thursday, March the 5th, are you going to a park that day?
We are not, and this is kind of a weird way that we did this time because usually we'd build in a rest day if we're going to do one at all kind of after one of our big park days, but because our family's coming, they're all working this day, and so it just worked best for us to get in. We're getting in kind of later the night before, having a rest day slash resort and Disney Springs. We do have a couple of dining reservations this day.
Okay. What are these dining reservations?
We are going to Topolino's, however you say that, Topolino's, I guess, Terrace for breakfast. And we were able to snag an 11:55 a.m., kind of the latest breakfast time that they have that day. We were just grateful to get anything at all. We've actually tried on our own before using Katie once or twice since it opened and have been unsuccessful on the day that we want to go. So really excited about that. We have never been there. I've been to the Riviera via Skyliner, like, stopped, but I've actually never gone in the resort, and I
Ooh.
know. So, I'm very excited to go, and I have the banana bread on my list to
You
stop and
better.
pick up. I am. I've
And the
got it
cold
on
brew.
there.
And the
Yeah,
cold
I'm
brew.
not a coffee person. I'm not a coffee person.
Is
So,
Maddie?
no, neither one we're weird.
Oh
We're
my
weird healthcare
gosh.
workers that, like, don't drink coffee. I don't know that we know anybody else who's like us, but yeah, no, we are gonna get that banana bread for sure.
Okay. I'm sure they will have other alternatives there as well, for you to
Yeah.
choose from if you don't want something coffee related. But I'm so excited to hear what you think about it after you get a chance to walk around and look at the mosaics and smell all
Yes.
the smells because the lobby smells amazing. It's
Yes,
going to
I
be so much
cannot
fun to
wait.
hear.
This is, like, at the top of my list to stay one day, and so I'm, like,
Hmm.
excited to see that's without even actually seeing the inside, so I'm really excited to get to go there and
Hmm.
see the space. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Ugh. So, do you have a second dining reservation for the same day?
We do. So we're
Okay.
actually hoping Katie can scoot this up a little bit. She's working on it, has us in her dining apps and things just because we do want to try to have a little bit of space between our two reservations. But our dinner reservation is at Disney Springs at Homecoming, which is another one that we have never been to, but has been very high on our list. And we were going to do it last year, Eiley and I, but then I was like, it's just the two of us. Maddie really wants to try it. So we decided to wait and not we canceled our reservation for last year, so we were able to get one for dinner at 6 p.m. this day. So hoping to have the breakfast, go back and maybe swim or chill for a little bit, head to Disney Springs, do Homecoming, do World of Disney, things like that. And
Hmm.
then yeah, first time for both of these reservations, which is fun.
Yeah, I love both of those restaurants, and I think that the Topolino's is maybe the best character meal
That's what
out
I
there.
hear. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, it's really good. I mean, their little costumes are so much fun, and just the food is so good. It's not pricey. Wait,
Yeah.
yes, is it not pricey? Why am I using a
Yeah,
double
yeah,
negative?
that's right.
It's pricey. I'll just
Yeah.
flip it around. But I think it's worth it just because of the experience, and the food is excellent, for especially for a character meal. But I would say even if it weren't a character meal, I would still say that the food was excellent. And
Okay, that's good.
homecoming is, I feel like probably the same type of food that you get to eat on a regular basis. So hopefully you will find it as enchanting as I do, but I also don't get to have all that kind of stuff that often. Like sweet tea on tap, yes, please.
Yeah, yeah, so good Southern food. Yeah, we love good Southern
Yeah.
food, obviously, live in the South,
Hmm.
but yeah, definitely excited, and I know as far as character dining, we haven't done much with the kids. We've done Garden Grill, which
Hmm.
is one of my favorites, not for
Yeah.
breakfast, but for, dinner with my dad 2 years
Hmm.
ago when we went to the parks with him, and that's really all the girls have ever done, and that was so magical, and
Hmm.
I just have to hide the bill from Maddie and just say, like, "Don't worry about it," because especially that Topolino's is not a buffet style or like all you can enjoy. I feel like he's gonna be
Right.
like, "How much did this cost?" But I'm hoping that the food will win him over, which I had
Yes.
luck with at Disneyland. It's like we ate at some pricier places, but then he was like, "This is some of the best food I've ever had." I'm like, "Right,
Hmm.
exactly. Think about that, not the price." So we'll see how it goes, but I'm really excited because I've heard awesome things from everyone who's been.
Yes, I highly recommend the steak and eggs, and I'm not even a big steak person, but it's so good there. And even down to their little, I want to call it a bread basket, but it's not really a basket. It's like a pot of bread
Yeah,
is
yeah.
really good. Every little thing in it is just delicious. So, yeah, just hide the bill.
Okay,
It's not
good.
a
Yeah.
yeah. He doesn't need to know. Why
He
does he
doesn't
need
need
to
to
know?
know. I'm like, "It's Disney money. Just don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
We have the Disney credit card we're using points, so it's
Uh-huh,
fine."
exactly. All right, so that brings us to Friday, March the 6th, and this is the day that your dad and stepmom, Doreen, are doing Hollywood Studios with you. So, what are your
Yes.
priorities on this day?
We have a few priorities. Fantasmic is number 1, so hopefully the weather will cooperate because I have not watched Fantasmic with my dad. I haven't been to Hollywood Studios with my dad in probably over 15 years. We've been to Magic, we've been to Epcot,
Oh.
but we just have not been to Hollywood with him in a long time, and he is like the reason that we love Disney. So it's going to be really fun, and we grew up obviously watching Fantasmic with him as kids, but him getting to watch it with our kids will be so special, and our kids
Oh,
love
yes.
Fantasmic. So that's definitely the number one priority, but we also really want to do Slinky Dog. Blake is finally tall enough. This will be her first time ever riding anything like that. She's never been on any kind of coaster. So we're really excited for her to get to experience that, hoping to rope drop that and maybe do a lightning lane for it later if we are able to snag one. We also really want to do Rise of the Resistance with my dad. I don't think Blake will quite be tall enough. She's like 39 inches, so we haven't checked her in a little bit, but I don't think she's grown to 40 for that one, but that'd be a great surprise. And my dad loves that ride. He's only done it once and he was like fascinated and thought it was the coolest thing ever, as do I every time I ride it. So that is
Mhm.
up there. Maddie's favorite is Toy Story Mania. So we definitely want to do that. And then the new Little Mermaid show for our Little Mermaid lovers. That is going to be
Mhm.
so fun to see with them, and the Villains show. So those are kind of our big priorities. Obviously, anything else we can fit in there would be great, but those are the things that are top for us. And then we do also have a dining reservation this day as well.
Okay, what is that dining reservation?
We are going to Sci-Fi, which is a family favorite, not necessarily for the food. The food is fine, but it's about the vibes and the memories and the
Mhm.
experience. So it was funny. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, and they were like, well, my kid was kind of scared of the videos in there. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I like kind of forgot that it is a little creepy, but I think my kids will be okay. I think they'll just be like super, in awe of like the entire experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's like my dad's favorite Hollywood restaurant. He loves to get a milkshake there, and so we used
Mhm.
to eat there often as kids. So it's a fun one. So we'll be eating there for dinner.
Fun. Um, is Doreen a Disney person?
She is. So actually funny enough, she grew up in New York City and went to the World's Fair back when It's a Small World was there.
That's
Um,
right down the highway from me.
Yes, she was really little, so she does not have a lot of memories, but her mom, my step grandma, has the most fun stories about like the
Mhm.
experience of going to the World's Fair and just like all the attractions and how blown away they were by it. And then they moved to Florida. I'm trying to think, when she was like maybe just in high school or right out of high school, I can't quite remember, and they didn't grow up going to the parks like we did, but as soon as she got with my dad, he got her hooked. So it was it
Mhm.
was not, and my parents, they've been remarried for a long time. So I've
Uh-huh.
grown up with her going to the parks and everything too. So it's been
Uh-huh.
fun. But yes, she definitely enjoys it. Maybe not the
Oh.
level that my dad and I do, but
Mhm.
definitely enjoys the parks.
Yeah. That's so cool that she got to go to the World's Fair. That's
I
just
know. I'm like, what an
historic. Ugh.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so
Does
cool.
does she have any memorabilia from that time? Like
I don't think so. Like
maps or brochures
I
or
know.
anything?
I wish. Yeah, I don't think so. My dad asked my step grandma, and she was just kind of like, "No, like we didn't hang on to stuff like that." Especially living in New York City, as you know, it's like you you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of space for extra things. So yeah, no, she did not hang on to anything that they know of, which is sad, but definitely
Oh.
had some really cool stories, which was fun.
I mentioned earlier that I was listening to you on my closet clean out day at my in-laws. One thing I found in that closet that I promptly took for myself is
Yes.
a giant vintage map of Disneyland.
Oh
It's
wow, that is so
probably
cool.
it's probably like 4 feet by 6 feet, and
Oh
it's
my
in
gosh.
mint condition.
Oh my gosh, that is a
Yeah.
jackpot.
I know. So normally I'm like not somebody who likes to hang on to things or, as I've gone through this closet, there's been so many things where I was like, why were you holding on to this? But I
Yeah.
found that map and I was like, thank God you hold on to things.
Yes, yes, exactly, I know. My kids,
Uh,
I hold on to, like, everything. It's kind of like
yeah.
my family always makes fun of me, so I have all
Hmm.
kinds of old, like, park maps from the early 2000s and tickets and whatever, so
Yeah.
my kids are gonna have to go through a lot when that day comes, but it is super
Yeah.
fun to look at and go through now.
Yeah. Yeah. With the Disneyland map, of course, the old people mover is on it because
Oh,
they still had it then.
yes,
Uh,
yes, RIP to the Disneyland people mover,
I
such a
know.
shame.
I know, but thank goodness they have not gotten rid of it in Disney World because it's one of
Yes,
my
one of my
favorites.
faves. Same, yes, one of my faves.
All right, Saturday, March the 7th. This is the day that your mom and sister-in-law and baby niece, was it a
Yes.
niece? Okay,
Yep.
6 months old, are joining you. And did you say Magic Kingdom for this day?
No, Epcot.
Epcot. Okay.
Yes,
All
we are
right.
actually not doing Magic Kingdom this trip, which is probably the craziest thing people have ever heard, but it was
Not to
funny. It
me.
just worked out. Yeah, it just worked out that way. We planned to go for the Halloween party in the fall. And so we were
Mhm.
like, we just went to Disneyland most recently, which is not the same, but has a lot of the same things.
Sure.
And then as I'm glad we did it this way because Disney Plus put out this deal. And Katie texted me and was like, hey, there's this deal that if you do a day at Epcot, Hollywood, Animal Kingdom, they have a discounted ticket. And I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, sign me up because we are not annual pass holders." So that worked out really
Mhm.
well for us. We saved some money. So no
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom this trip. So we are doing Epcot this day.
Okay. Yeah, it does not sound crazy to me at all. I do love Magic Kingdom, but it's not my favorite park. My favorite park is
Me
Epcot.
either.
I will always take Epcot time over Magic Kingdom time. So, walk me through what you have planned for this day.
So this day is a little bit more chill. We don't have any dining reservations. We do plan to rope drop, of course. It's hard for me not to when we're at the parks, but we plan to rope drop Remy's because we'll be coming off the Skyliner, so that just makes the most sense. And
Mhm.
then likely head to Frozen to see the new animatronics, which we are really excited about, like everybody else. We do want to do Guardians. We plan to do a single pass for that because I don't want to stand in a 2-hour line with kids. And Aili has done that one before with me last year when we went for her birthday. She's pretty brave and she loved it.
Mhm.
So my sister-in-law has not gotten to ride it with her, and she loves to do coasters like that with her. So they actually took her on Big Thunder for the first time, her and my brother, and
Mhm.
she loved it when she was little. So she wants to ride Guardians with Aili, which is super fun. So I'll chill with the baby, and then we'll kind of ride or swap, and Maddie and I will go or whatever
Mhm.
after that. And we definitely want to do Soarin' because that's obviously one of my favorites, as our podcast is named after it. And would love to do some more chill attractions with the littles, like Living with the Land is always a favorite for us, and Spaceship Earth. And
Mhm.
there also are a lot of really good characters at Epcot. So we always find great princess meet and greets. My girls are actually going to be wearing very rare, but Asha dresses that I got on clearance for them like 3 years ago at Epcot in
Mhm.
very large sizes, and they now fit them. So they would love to meet Asha. She has been doing a meet and greet there. I hope she still is. I actually haven't like double checked that, but last year she was, and so Eiley met her. And so that's definitely high on our priority list. And would love to also, with the baby being there, baby Everly, get to do like Mickey and Minnie, that kind of meet and greet over in the area where they meet now with the wait time and everything. So
Right.
those are kind of our biggest priorities as far as attractions. We haven't gotten to do the new test track, so would love to do that. And Maddie and I are also willing to do like single rider for that, but Eiley might be interested. She's never been on that either, and she loved Radiator Springs Racers. So we'll just kind of see where they're at with like resting and snacking and eating, because we might kind of peel off and do that ourselves while my mom and sister-in-law are with the kids hanging out or eating or something like that.
Mhm.
And my mom does not care for coasters at all. So she's like, or anything super fast or driven. Soarin' is kind of like her max. So she's like fine to usually hang out with the kids while we go do something else for a minute.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what we're thinking. But we have quite a list of treats. They put out this is the first weekend of Flower and Garden when we're going, so it's going to be busy, I'm sure. And they just put out a list of snacks to try over there. And I already had a list like pre Flower and Garden. But then
Mm-hmm.
I was going through the app actually earlier today and was like, ooh, there are like 5 other things that at least minimum that I want to try. So I have a little bit of a list to go through for Epcot too.
Okay. So are you essentially going to snack your way around the world as opposed to eating a meal?
Exactly. Yep. That's kind of what my plan is. And when we were just at Disneyland, it was funny. We did do lunch each day just at a quick service, but I was like, we shouldn't have. And we should have just snacked because there were so many things we wanted to try. And we did still try a lot of them and shared them. But that's kind of the way to do it. I feel like having one kind of meal of some sort is good, but then snacking the rest of the day just works out so well for us and getting to split
Mm-hmm.
and share things and try a lot. So, yeah, that's our plan is to kind of snack that day for food.
Do you have available to tell us a few of the snacks that you're excited about?
I do, yes. I
Okay.
saved them. So there is a French toast over by Test Track that is cinnamon cereal and cream and caramel sauce. That looks delicious. And all of these look like they're like, snack size, smaller size, but I think we'll still share a lot of them. There's also over in the Odyssey, like kind of empty pavilion space where they do these little food things for everything. There's cinnamon beignets, which are tossed in like a lemon sugar, lemon glaze, and honey blueberry compote, which looks
Ooh.
delicious. Yes. There's a few different ciders, which Maddie and I don't really drink beer very much, but we love a hard cider. So there's like different orange ciders throughout the park that we kind of have our eye on. And for the girls, there is a frozen violet lemonade, and they really love lemonade, and it's like a fun purple one, so I think they might want to try that. It says it's near port of entry.
Mm-hmm.
um and then for like savory over in Canada, there's this beef tenderloin tips with mushrooms, whipped potatoes, and garden vegetables that looks incredible. And we just had some really good beef tenderloin over in Disneyland at Cafe Orleans. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I want this. If it's anything like that, that was incredible. So
Uh-huh.
that sounds delicious. So those are kind of our top things. There's others that I saved as well, but those are the ones that I'm like, I really want to try. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we get the chance to experience each of those. And then we have our usual, like I always get a margarita, frozen margarita in Epcot, obviously in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico Pavilion. And there's a few other things like in the Norway Bakery, like there's a triple chocolate cookie that has been on my list for a long time that I just haven't tried. And like over in the China Pavilion, some of the like pot stickers and things that Maddie and I both have wanted to try. So we have enough that we'll be able to pick from and feel full, I'm sure. They'll have to roll us out of
Yeah.
there by the time we're done.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a really good plan. I love that frozen violet lemonade, PS.
Oh,
It's
good.
so good.
Okay. I'm
Yes.
excited about it. I definitely want to try it too, but I'm hoping that the girls will like it because that'll be something like kind of fun and fancy for them.
Yeah, and it's not super big, so if you get it and they don't like it for some reason, you could definitely knock it back, I'm sure. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
just really photogenic, a very photogenic drink. Has a flower on
Perfect.
the top. Hold it up in front of Spaceship Earth, get a photo.
Yes.
Good to go.
And we love just looking at all the different, obviously characters that they have done with the topiaries and the way that they do Flower and Garden. It's my favorite
Mhm.
festival. So I'm really
Mhm.
looking forward to seeing what the new one of the year is at the entrance and getting
Mhm.
to see all the different ones around the parks. The kids really enjoy that too. So
Yeah.
definitely excited for that. And this night, we actually don't plan to stay for fireworks because there's a very big game on, which we always tend to be at Disney when it occurs, and that is the Duke UNC game.
Uh-huh.
And it is at Duke. So we are looking for our revenge against UNC, who beat us at UNC a few weeks ago.
Go
It's so
Heels.
funny. We always end up at the parks either the first weekend of February when they play or the
Uh-huh.
first weekend of March when they play again. It like always
Uh-huh.
almost happens. And Maddie's so funny. He's like, I wouldn't usually make a big fuss about this, but we have to be by a TV to watch this game. We can't just be like trying to get it on our phones, walking through. Like, we need to be focused. I'm like, okay, all right. This is like
Uh-huh.
his one ask. So I think we're going to head back for game time, which is 6:30, and let the kids like play in the
Hmm.
pool or whatever and just chill for the rest of the night. But yeah, so we do plan to head back a little bit early. I like the fireworks show at Epcot, but it's not a like must do like
Hmm.
Fantasmic is for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is our plan for that night.
So when you head back, are you going to watch it on a TV from your room, or are you anticipating maybe they'll be showing it at the bar by the pool or something?
Well, I don't know if they'll be showing it. That'd be great if they're showing it at the bar by the pool, but Maddie's fine watching it on his phone or his laptop if he's like not in an
As long as
environment
he's
with a packed.
stationary.
Yes, not like
Okay.
walking around the park trying to like watch it on his phone.
Right.
But if the weather's not great or it's still a little too early to know what the weather's going to be like and it's been so up and down there
Mhm.
lately. So if it's not pool weather, we'll just go back to the room and probably
Mhm.
watch it there and have dessert or whatever, let the kids chill out.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and they also are super into watching the games. I think watching
Are
us get
they?
hyped. Yes, they love to get hyped up for it too, so it's
Mhm.
fun. But yeah,
Oh.
so that's what we're gonna do that night.
On a personal note question, when I was very, very young, because both my parents went to Carolina just like I did, they had the little Carolina cheerleader uniforms that I used to put on to watch the games. Do Eiley and Blake have Duke cheerleading uniforms?
They do not have Duke cheerleading uniforms. We have thought about it. They're expensive, so and they grow out of things so fast. We just have
Yeah.
not done it, but they do have Duke gear that they usually wear. I don't know that we're gonna pack that. That's so funny. Maddie's probably gonna be like, "Of course we're packing that,"
Eh,
but I don't know that we're gonna pack Duke gear, especially since we won't be around anybody else like while it's playing. But they do both have like Duke gear. I'll have to
okay.
send you our old reel that we made when Duke
Mhm.
played UNC when Blake was a baby, and we made this whole reel and like shared it to John Shire and ESPN and whatever. And
Uh-huh.
it was super fun of the kids just like getting hyped for the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely get into it. We're not like insane fans, but we are
Mhm.
pretty big Duke fans. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, I remember my mom used to sew, and I think she made our cheerleading uniforms because when you
Oh
buy them
yeah.
like from the actual store, they are very expensive. But
Oh yeah.
she was able to whip up anything like Halloween costume I wanted or
Oh
whatever.
my
So and
gosh.
so my sister and I had the matching uniforms. I was just thinking that I have like the like temporary tattoos that I have
Yeah.
in my jewelry box here for like a little Tar Heel, like, if you had something like that, maybe they could have, like, a little temporary tattoo while you're wandering around Epcot. I guarantee you, if you do, somebody will stop you
Oh
and
yes.
or like, yell out, like, "Go
Go
Devils,"
Duke
or
or go
whatever.
Heels or whatever. Yeah.
Right, right. Like, somebody's gonna start shouting over the top of you, "Tar Heel."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maddie often wears Duke gear, like, in general, and so he oftentimes, like, when we've been in the parks, has worn something, and we've gotten both ways, so it's so
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so fun, and we do have little actually, that reminds me, in my makeup drawer, Duke temporary tattoos, so I'll have to stick those in the bag, that would be cute.
Yeah, because that's easy enough to take off once you're done with it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, the next time we speak, we will know who the winner of this battle was.
I know. I'm sure they'll play again in ACC and then maybe again in the tournament, it's, like,
I'm
so
sure they
funny,
will. Yeah.
but such a
Yeah.
fun rivalry.
Well, and I have to say, like, playing that game at Duke, I don't know, it feels different to me, and I think it's because sorry, listeners, if you're not into ACC basketball talk, because what is the name of your stadium? Is it Cameron
Cameron,
Indoor?
yeah,
Yeah.
Cameron Indoor, uh-huh.
It feels very small to me,
It
and
is.
so it seems like it's packed with people, and therefore it just feels all that much more intense because it's such a smaller space, whereas, like, at the Dean Dome where we play, it's a bigger space, and so I don't know, it just has a different feel to it. It just like there's an intensity there,
Yes.
that just really amps it up. So,
Yes, for
yeah.
sure. Maddie has gotten to go in Duke a couple of times, and that's how our high school gym was, very, very small, and so we
Yeah.
love that, and it's just makes it so much more of a fun environment, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
Very intense. All right,
Yes.
and that concludes ACC talk.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so that brings us to Sunday, March 8th, and that is Eili's Animal Kingdom Yes Day. So we've already talked
Yes.
through kind of the priorities there. Do you have any dining reservations for this day?
We do. We actually are gonna go to Yak and Yeti for, like, a linner lunch, dinner, reservation at, like, 3 o'clock or so, and so all of us will be doing that. We've never eaten here, but it has been high on my list for a long time 'cause we
Mhm.
love Asian food, and so the menu
Mhm.
is massive, so that has been on our list for a bit, so we will be eating there, but otherwise, we plan to snack, and I do have, like, a little bit of a list for Animal Kingdom too, including the Night Blossom, which I've never had over in Pandora, thanks to you. It has been on my list for a
Yay.
while. So very excited to try that. But yeah, that's kind of our dining reservation for the day is the Yak and Yeti.
Are you a Landry's Card member?
I'm not, but I plan to go ahead and join here shortly because that's worth it, I've heard.
Yes. So, I mean, I hardly ever go to a Landry's restaurant, but I think it's like $25 to join, and when you go and eat there, you get that much in credit, so it pays for itself.
Okay.
And then you get a credit every year at your birthday time, and so
Yes.
you just have to remember to pay attention to that, and if you don't use it, I recently learned that, as long as you go in there before it would expire, you can, like, put it on hold or something, and so you can
Okay.
just use it at another time. So yeah, I think definitely worth using, and then you also get that, like, priority if you wanted to just show up to Yak and Yeti or to, Rainforest Cafe or whatever any other restaurants they own. I think they might own Morton's Steakhouse or they own several restaurants that are not just in Disney. You can go without a reservation, and as long as you remember, you get, like, priority seating, like, the first table they have available, they'll
Cool.
get for you.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely worth it. So I hope you enjoy that. There's so much to choose from there. They have a huge menu. So that's
Yes.
my one thing about it is like what do you it's I get menu ADD where I sit there and I'm just like there's too much to look at.
Yeah.
I can't focus.
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit of a challenge to make a choice, but that's a good problem to have, I think.
Yes, definitely a good problem to have. And this day, we also want to prioritize the new Zootopia show. That wasn't on
Yes.
Eileen's like list, but Blake is very into Zootopia. She talks about Bunny Judy
Oh.
like every day. Ever since the movie came out and we saw it at Thanksgiving time, she has like latched on and has watched the first one now a bunch of times. We're waiting for the second to drop on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
But that is like what she has asked for the last few months is she wants a Bunny Judy stuffy. So
Mhm.
we'll definitely be picking up one of those. And the meet and greet is also there. So
Mhm.
really want to do that with them and the cute little Mickey and Minnie in their safari outfits. That's on my priority list.
Yes.
So we are excited to try that out. My kids also have never done the Lion King show because when we were there and Eiley was little, it was closed because of COVID, unfortunately. And that is like one of my favorites. So I'm hoping that we get to sneak that in there too, because another movie that Blake has been very into is The Lion King. And she actually watched it yesterday. She
Mhm.
just loves that movie and loves the music. So really
Mhm.
hoping that we can sneak that in as well.
Oh, that'll be fun. Are you at all concerned for the Zootopia experience, of some of the things that tended to scare kids when it was tough to be a bug, that if your child is afraid of, like, air shooting out at them or being squirted with water or that sort of thing, I think that's still happening. Do you think she'll
Yes.
handle it okay?
I think she'll handle it okay. She is like my tough child. Like her favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. Like she
Oh,
is
okay.
like super
She'll be
into
fine.
yeah, she's fine. She's like second born girl, like through and through, and just like
Uh-huh.
very brave and yeah, has always done things like when her sister who's 3 years older than her is doing it, she wants to do it. So I
Yeah.
don't think she'll be scared.
Okay.
But I have like kind of prepped them that it can be a little loud and sometimes it's dark and they've done, PhilharMagic where they, like, squirt a little bit of water at you. So I think
Sure.
I've, like, warned them, and I've said, "I haven't seen this, so I can't tell you for sure exactly what's gonna happen," but at least giving
Mhm.
them a little bit of, like, a heads up. Aili is much more noise sensitive than Blake. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I have to like tell her like plug your ears, especially in like loud parts of attractions, or like when we go to watch Indiana Jones at Hollywood Studios, I've had to say, all right, cover your ears because it's really loud. And when she was little, we actually had headphones for
Mm-hmm.
her for like noise, but she's gotten a little bit better as she's gotten older. She's just like super, super sensitive to
Mm-hmm.
loud sounds. And she's definitely more scared of things than Blake as far as like noise and like pop up things.
Right.
But still loves the thrills of coasters, which surprised me because
Mm-hmm.
I did not think she was going to be like that, but she is.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it, which is super fun.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
you departing Orlando this evening or do you depart the following day?
No, we are departing this evening. So this is our first time
Okay.
since we've lived in Florida doing a park day on our departure day, but our
Mm-hmm.
flight is not till 9:30 p.m. Unfortunately, it was for the same cost. It was a 6 a.m. flight or a 9:30 p.m. flight. I'm like, well, we are getting our money's worth and staying that day. So
Yeah.
I was like, let's do it. But yeah, so we are going to pack our bags. We're actually not going to rope drop this day, mostly because
Mm-hmm.
the time change, unfortunately, happens this
Oh,
night.
this is a time change day. Okay.
Yeah, and so we're
And you're
used to this.
springing forward.
We're swinging forward, which actually, like, is painful in the moment, but is better for our kids because they are early risers, and so this helps them, like, adjust to more of a normal bedtime for a little bit. Or I mean, not bedtime, sleeping in time. They are
Mm-hmm.
usually up at 6 a.m., so hopefully we can maybe sleep till 7 a.m. this day, since we're gonna be rope dropping the 2 days before, and we plan to single pass Flight of Passage for Eiley because not everybody wants to go on it, and that's really what we would rope drop anyway if we were going to like rush over there. I know you can do Everest. I know y'all do that and like get on
Mm-hmm.
it and things like that, but I can only do that one once. Otherwise, I get super motion sick.
Mm-hmm.
So, we still plan to get on that. We do not plan to do multipass for this day, but we are going to do multipass for Hollywood Studios and Epcot. I didn't say that earlier.
Okay.
But for Animal Kingdom, we just feel like there's not enough to even get the benefit of multipass. And even though it's a Sunday, I just feel like even if everything's an hour wait, we'll still be able to do like 8 things if we get there at
Yeah.
8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. or whatever. So we're gonna pack our bags, drop them at the lobby, take the bus over, do the park, and then head back to the bus like a little before closing time at Animal Kingdom. And Black Lane is supposed to pick us up at 7 at our hotel. So
Okay. Do you have
yeah,
to work
hopefully
the
that'll
next
work
day?
out. I do.
Oh
Unfortunately. I know. We usually don't do that, and I thought about swapping. I have every other Monday off, so I thought about swapping it, and then I was like, "Well, I'm already asking to leave a little early on Wednesday because that's Eileen's actual birthday," and so I
no.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
"It's fine. We're just gonna roll with it, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll get into Raleigh around 11:30. We'll have to drive back, which we're gonna leave our car in the economy lot at the airport." Um, and yeah, hopefully the kids will sleep on the plane. Sometimes they do. Usually on the way back, it's better. On the way there, when we flew down for Thanksgiving, we did a light flight like this, and they were up the entire flight. They weren't being crazy or anything. They were just excited. And they were just, and I was like, no screens, we're going to sleep. And they did not have iPads or screens or anything. And they were just so like jazzed to be there and going to Florida and whatever, and like all
Mm-hmm.
excited. And I was like, Mommy's trying to sleep. And they were just so wired.
Oh.
So we'll see if they fall asleep the way down or the way back. But
Mm-hmm.
our way back flight is pretty late.
You should get them like a nice like ASMR book on tape to
Yeah.
listen to or something.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. I think Eiley would fall asleep in 2 seconds, but Blake is like, Eiley this, Eiley that. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Blake, lay on mommy. I'll sing to you. And she's like, oh, I'm so excited. So she is definitely like, Eiley probably requires more sleep than Blake does. And unfortunately for us, Blake is just like a low sleep requirement kid. So
Uh-huh.
it's always like, I need a nap, Blake. Don't you need a nap? Like, aren't you
Oh my goodness.
tired?
I remember those days just being like, please, Alex, just take a nap, please, because I need a
Yes.
nap.
Yes, yes, and we are, like, very close time to not being over for Blake, so I just keep
Mm-hmm.
hanging on, and Eileen's really good about quiet time and, like, reading a book or whatever, and they do
Mm-hmm.
really well at the parks. It was funny at Disneyland last summer, Blake was just like, I'm tired, I need a rest, and just like laid down in the stroller, pulled her little cover over, and like put her pacifier in and conked out. So I was like, okay, this worked out super well. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that happens in the parks, or she just like powers through and crashes in the bus on the way home or whatever, like I used to as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Because we definitely did not go back to nap when we were kids. My dad was like a park open and park closed kind of a guy. So we either napped in the stroller or just partied the whole day.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, even if you had not said that, I would have guessed that about your dad, having
Yeah.
heard him enough on your podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Ah. All right. Well, I hope this is an amazing trip for you. I hope that the timing of, when you're going between these other places having school breaks is going to mean, somewhat lower crowds for you in spite of the flower and garden start.
Thank you. Yes.
But I hope you have a wonderful time, a magical time, and I can't wait to talk to you when you get back.
Yes. Can't wait to let you know how everything goes. It's going to be a great trip. I'm really excited.
It will. All right. I will talk to you very soon then.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much, Olivia, for continuing to be a friend of the podcast and for sharing all of your plans. Olivia's post-trip report episode is up now, so you don't want to miss that. If you are looking for help planning your own magical vacation, Katie, aka 2+3 Travelers on Instagram, was Olivia's travel agent and is a former Where I Long to Be podcast trip report guest herself. She is fantastic and will take good care of you. You can find Katie's information in the show notes. And that will be all for this pre-trip episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And as always, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.